What's up, y'all? I know this cannot be healthy, but however, energy be energy. And you feel it? It's about to be 5 in the motherfucking morning. However, I was doing research, and just as last video I did, I believe too much truth was coming out without me saying nothing. So I'm gonna do the same shit right now and see what happens. This time with a little bit less disruption. So I'm gonna get right into it. Hey, smoke it if you guys got it, drink it if you guys got it, chew it if you guys got it, and if you do the other shit, do it if you got it. You might need one of the options that I just mentioned, aforementioned. For those of you who don't know, I'm United States Navy Intelligence. Go Navy. I won't hit the bell. It's too early for that shit. What I will do is share the screen though. And what I'm gonna do is I just wanna sit there and watch this shit with you. And then maybe if I can drop in on some shit, I will, but as far as I got into it so far, it really sucks to not be able to talk. But, however, it's just a matter of. So let me bring this shit up real quick. Let me bring this shit up. I'll be right here on the side, because I might as well get this shit over with.
Yes, sir. Mod Tricker. Back up in this thing, man. Today, we're diving into some mind-blowing videos that'll send chills down your spine. But before we hop into that, go ahead and spam that like button right now so we bring our numbers up on the algorithm. You ain't gotta think about it later. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button too. Sub up. Join the family. We're almost at 400,000 subscribers. I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for helping me build this community from the ground up. But with that being said, guys, let's hop straight into the video.
The same year, far fewer societies there are
Build this community from the ground up. But with that being said, guys, let's hop straight into the video.
As with wealth, in the world of secret societies, there are levels. Everyone has heard of Freemasons. Far fewer have heard of the higher, more exclusive circles within Freemasonry itself. One of the most fascinating of these elite orders is Les Neuf Sœurs, the Nine Sisters. Founded in Paris in 1776, the same year America declared its independence. This lodge became a meeting place for some of the most extraordinary figures of that time, people like Benjamin Franklin and Voltaire. The lodge also featured scientists, aristocrats, military officers, and political visionaries. The lodge took its name from the 9 muses of Greek mythology, the divine patrons of knowledge, inspiration, and wisdom. And the timing of the founding of this lodge is impossible to ignore. As this lodge met behind closed doors, the American Revolution unfolded, and within a few years the French Revolution would follow. Were these events planned within this lodge?
So basically there's a secret society within Freemasonry that's also a secret society. It's like an esoteric Russian nesting doll.
Every now and then my camera actually captures something. Now y'all saw that what flew over into the next yard. Now watch what happens next. So the camera detected motion. Here comes 2 orbs. Now in the beginning of the video, y'all saw what flew over there. Now watch what comes back. When I tell y'all that I am seeing creatures, I am seeing galactic creatures, ETs. Now here it comes. Y'all see it, right? I'm thinking it's a fairy in some sort of strange light. Come on now. How, y'all, if that wasn't a shapeshifter, let me know, y'all. Shapeshifters are basically spirits that can, look, here it comes back again. You saw the 2 orbs. Now watch what happens. And this video has not been edited. Look at that timestamp. It comes back again. How is that possible, man?
Maybe the camera was just having a hard time picking this up because it's nighttime. If not, then it's the interdimensional Bambi.
This fish didn't come from the ocean. It was grown in a lab. It's cultivated meat, also known as lab-grown, cultured, or cell-based meat. It's real meat, not fake meat like plant-based protein. The difference is that it's been grown from cells in a lab and not in the actual animal.
It's basically just what nature does, just growing the cells, and we're just giving them the ingredients to actually grow in a healthy way.
This isn't the stuff of science fiction anymore. The tech is now being used to produce all kinds of seafood. That could help alleviate environmental issues like the depletion of fish stocks, health issues linked to fish like microplastics and mercury, and also animal welfare concerns. But it's not yet in the supermarkets.
The availability of it in small amounts might come soon, but the availability in every supermarket in the United States is quite a ways away.
Singapore is the only place in the world that currently allows the commercial sale of cultivated meat. Could this be the future of seafood?
I'd rather take my chances with the microplastics and the mercury, because if you eat lab-grown seafood, it might actually rearrange your DNA and have you grow a dorsal fin.
The name Illuminati originally came from being illuminated, i.e. aware, awakened of the truths of it. And as happens in all the time, power corrupts, and it's all to do with the bloodline. So we're talking about the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the JP Morgans, the royal families of Egypt, royal families of Europe. They're all tied into this bloodline. And that bloodline happens to be reptilian. And once you've created 2 or 3 religions, well, you can set them against one another. And that's why they created countries, because now you can set countries against each other. And the thing is, the Illuminati create all the wars on the planet. And they've created them all since 1300, okay? Because the Illuminati are the very first weapons merchants. They became so rich because of discoveries they made in the Crusades that they became richer than the state, richer than the church, and they were the power brokers in Europe.
If these bloodlines are really reptilian, that would explain why they all look so uncanny. Prince Andrew's like an albino Komodo dragon.
There's a base in Alaska that conspiracy theorists believe.
Pause. Alright, so on that note, whatever it was talking about, some conspiracy theories and shit like that. We're just talking about those who are illuminated and those who, I don't know, I think they threw it in the market. You know, there's a lot of shit that was thrown around. But if it's truly a secret society and there's the Freemasons and things of that nature, what I got for you is, if you're not invited to the club, I wouldn't stick my nose in that electrical outlet. Because what do you expect to happen when you go peering into darkness? If something is secret, it's probably a secret for a reason. And who do you think you are trying to reveal a secret by yourself or with the company of others? I don't believe it's worth it. Anyway, people will be people.
Controls the weather. This is HAARP, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, a 180 antenna array that's located in Gakona, Alaska. Officially, it studies the ionosphere, the electrically charged layer of Earth's upper atmosphere that affects radio signals, satellite communications, military communications, GPS, that kind of stuff. And since it started running in 1990, people have been really suspicious about what's going on up there. HAARP was originally tied to U.S. military research. Its main instrument can blast up to 10 megawatts of high-frequency radio beams up into the upper atmosphere. In other words, it can heat up and disturb part of our sky. Officials say that this is just harmless science, but theorists suggest that HAARP has been used for years for things like weather modification, or triggering earthquakes, communications disruption, or even mind control experiments. Some theorists even connect HAARP to Nikola Tesla's lost teleforce or beam technology, the kind of weapon that Tesla claimed could bring an aircraft down from 250 miles away. And then there's this, a real 1987 patent from physicist Bernard Eastlund, titled Method and Apparatus for Altering a Region in Earth's Atmosphere, Ionosphere, and or Magnetosphere, which describes altering Earth's atmosphere to manipulate weather systems. disrupt enemy communications, and even affect human behavior over a wide geographic area. Now, this patent doesn't prove that HAARP actually used this kind of technology, but the idea of weaponizing the sky has at least been around for 40 years or more. HAARP ran from 1990 to 2014 until the military closed it. In 2015, the University of Alaska reopened it for academic purposes. But some think that they still might be doing experiments up there, along with the dozen or so other facilities just like this all around the world.
This is just my observation, but the array of antennas at HAARP look a lot like the array of 5G antennas they've been installing in major cities. I'm not saying they're connected, but it's definitely strange.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Who did this?
I've never seen a seaweed pentagram before. Somebody out here trying to invoke Poseidon.
You're saying Flock does not track people, correct?
Track people, that's right, and hold their movements like you asked. We're not tracking people.
Well, what do the Condor cameras do? They literally are designed to track a person, aren't they?
Not.
Alright, so talking without talking. Does anybody notice any Flock cameras? Like for real. Hold up. Let me switch angles and shit. Oh, that was quick. Has anybody ever noticed any Flock cameras in their neighborhood? I know at certain stoplights, if you look up, four-way stops with traffic lights. For a while, there's always been license plate readers. And then just recently, I noticed these black poles with the solar panels with cameras attached. Those would be your Flock cameras. Now, what happened was they said that they're going to be used for public safety, and the police are attached to them. Said it was just, monitoring for like purse snatches and stuff of that nature, crashes, car accidents, hit and runs. The funny part is that they're starting to install these Flock cameras. You should see the money. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. They're starting to install these cameras, and they're pointing them at playgrounds for children, and they're directing them specifically at like merry-go-rounds and slides. I mean, if you have your little kid out there and it happens to be a girl, and they might be wearing like a little picnic dress, you feeling the rest. But it's marketed as public safety, and it's marketed as public safety. You got to make sure that we watch the slides and the merry-go-rounds in those parks, because Lord forbid we start installing the cameras and they start looking at the swings. When you get up and catch an updraft, definitely don't want to be a bum in the park with one of those free government cell phones. I digress. But for those who have eyes, maybe see. Let me talk about this a little bit later.
To track a person, no.
This is a Flock camera known as a Condor. Unlike the Falcon license plate reader camera, you'll notice this does track the movements of people. Whether or not it was designed to specifically track a person, you can see right now, in real time, no matter which way I move, the camera moves with me. And this video is sent right back to the police department.
To alert you when it sees human movement, and it will actually acquire and track that person as they walk, or people.
This is why I don't trust anything that comes out of the mouth of a corporate executive. They lie more than Pinocchio.
A man in North Carolina said that his grandmother used to practice witchcraft. He said she would talk about all the time how he should join their coven. So Nana passed away, and she had a bunch of VHSs, and one was labeled 1999 Coven Introduction, and it was this video right here. A group of people in white robes are surrounding a woman who floats up into the air. Now, obviously, this freaked this man out, because what he thought was just some crazy ramblings of an older lady were actually true, and she was a part of something a lot bigger than he realized. He said a lot of the stuff that she had too, she would have animals in jars, bones everywhere. She would keep squirrels and stuff in her refrigerator. and try to make him eat them. So he obviously was traumatized by her in the first place. And then he finds this. I don't know what I would do because what he thought was a crazy old lady was on to something. And it makes you wonder what she was trying to do to him. What do y'all think about this?
He's smart for not joining the coven, because if I would have saw my grandma making people levitate like Professor McGonagall, I'm never going back to her house.
Actually, the word got back to me. So about 2 years ago, the U.S. government was using my music to actually use torture techniques on people.
I'll pause right there too. Now, I've had my fair share of spooks coming up, being anointed and tapped into spiritual energy. I should have never played with a Ouija board when I was younger, but I bought another one as I'm older. But the planchets here and the board is in an undisclosed location. I don't want them near each other. However, this world that we live in, hopefully this is hell on earth. I'll tell you that much, because I mean, what I got for you is that I know it's going to get worse before it gets worse, and then it may get better. And that's coming from the United States military. It's going to get worse before it gets worse, and it might get better. I don't know what the fuck just happened in Venezuela. All I know is that it just wasn't right? We had one big-ass earthquake and then a bigger one right after it. I mean, seconds apart. Normally it's a big one and then smaller aftershocks, but this one was the aftershock. And then, I don't know. So I be minding my business and shit. I mind my business and I stare at shit. And as far as individuals like, hey, where you? I've been studying, just like you guys should be doing. Now, what you're doing right now with me is you're studying with me, because I appreciate folks that dig deeper than what I do. Because I only know what I know, but there's individuals that tunnel into shit, and God bless their souls. But when I sign my life away on that paperwork to the government, it kind of prevents me from diving deep. However, this is free stuff. Now, you could be looking at it like, dude, you're going nuts or some shit. No. I appreciate the fact that these people have the courage enough, and I guess they're not signing no government contracts that states you cannot post anything that you know about stupid. These individuals didn't sign the contracts I signed. So, with that being stated, I can play what the fuck they saw, and I can just say, I don't put shit up here because I'll dissect it and I'll pause and let you know whether or not, because of my clearance level. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm trying to do here. If you pick up what I'm putting down, I'm not going to say it, but I'll show what these people got, and then I'm going to stop it and let you know, bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. I'm naval intelligence. And then it goes further than that. We don't talk about that. Okay, good copy? So without further ado, let me keep moving on, but I don't want you to think you just stumbled upon some late night motherfucking YouTube shit. No, this is naval intelligence, and the only thing I'm doing right now is picking out everything that I can find on the internet that can talk for me without me having to say shit. And then I'll stop and be like, that part right there is bullshit, but let's keep moving. I didn't tell you that shit is true. I'm just gonna stop it and let you know. That part right there, I would take that with a grain of salt and do your own research. You pick up what I'm putting down, it's like, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just expressing my fucking freedom of press. And then using my own discernment, stopping and engaging with my audience saying, well, and then I'm moving the fuck on. All right, copy? So if those who have eyes, may you see. I promise you, for those who have eyes, may you see. I don't do this shit for no fucking reason. Why the fuck would the government be sitting up here fucking paying me to sit up in here and shoot nonsense? You see everything that's on that fucking tattoo. And I know you recognize September 11th. And I know you know what a 5-pointed star is. And I know you know what a crescent moon is. And I know you know what a base clef is. And I know you know what the whole fuck the rest of that shit means. Stop fucking playing with me. I'm not that guy. The guy that I am was sacrificed probably back when I fucking signed that paperwork. So the best I got for you is let these niggas talk. Let these niggas talk, okay? Capiche? Let me shut the fuck up. Go ahead, brother.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I wish I could say all of them. This one specifically. So like it was one, and then Miss You, and then there was Alien Boy and Hurt.
All right. So my question to this though is, if you knew about this stuff, why'd you keep making it? Right? I don't know. There's something suspicious about this whole Oliver Tree thing, guys. You knew about this. You knew about you. There's no way that you're part of all of this stuff. You've become that famous. You don't know what's going on, and you didn't tell anybody. Like, he's vaguely telling us. You go look at his album covers. I mean, God, just.
I forgot. I already got a beer. That's what happens when you keep all this shit bottled up and get paid to shut the fuck up. There's somebody for everybody. I promise you that. Whatever you see, shut up.
You know, he knows. I don't know. I don't think that Jim Carrey. I think they just. They're all his plans, bro. I don't trust any of them.
So not only was he allowed to make a whole Antarctica UFO documentary, but now we're finding out that his songs are pretty much Guantanamo Bay's greatest hits. I feel like he might have been involved with some shadow projects.
I still can't believe how many people don't realize, but you actually can't walk into an Australian supermarket anymore without facial recognition machine deciding how much of a criminal you are. Bunnings scanned the faces of hundreds of thousands of Australians across 63 stores, and the Privacy Commissioner ruled that it actually broke the law. Even Kmart was doing it. Every customer at the returns counter across 28 stores, face captured, run against the database, and the regulator found that it's illegal too. But the part you need to be worried about is that Bunnings actually appealed the ruling and a tribunal said they can keep using it. So basically it's been legalized. Now when you walk into Coles or Woolies, cameras on the ceiling assign you a digital ID and they track you down every single aisle. The self-checkout even films you scanning a lemon and it plays it back to an AI so that it can decide if you've been honest or not. One Woolies store actually put 500 mini cameras on the shelf, and Coles even hired Palantir, which is the same surveillance company the military uses to crunch your data. So how many of you knew that? I'm not even finished. The smart gates, it locks you inside until the AI decides that you've paid for everything. Theft is the reason they give every single time, but investors were actually told that cutting theft back to previous levels could lift Coles' profit by up to 9%. So this was never really about keeping you safe. It was chasing the money, basically. Except now you're the product, the suspect, and the checkout worker all at once. Welcome to 2026, where being treated like a data point instead of a human is the new normal. And the law isn't ready to protect us yet either.
I can understand having regular surveillance cameras, but facial recognition seems unnecessary for a grocery store. They act like Woolworths is the White House.
What is this? Do you see that? Dude, you had to see it a second ago. What the is that? Dude, it looked like a rocket. What is that? Dude, you had to see it in the sky over there. When I said look at it, it was this big. What the is that? Holy. There he is right there. Get in the car.
It could be a SpaceX rocket, but I'm not sure about that because the trajectory doesn't look like it's headed to outer space. It looks like it's headed to Atlanta.
Guys, we swear this isn't scripted. We hear something. I'm not going down there, but I'm also not staying alone, so...
Pause, real quick. Man, just a backstory real quick. I left Long Beach a long time ago. I moved from Long Beach. Queen Mary, we've jet skied and boated past that bitch a couple of times. D has been on it. Me personally, I would love, just because I'm tapped into that type of energy, I don't know why, but I get really fucking lit, get drunk as fuck, and then go on one of these, go on an excursion. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to get on. It might $25 or shit to get on that boat. It's sitting in Long Beach Harbor, then floated past it several times, but never been on it. She has, I've not. So what I'm thinking is, if I do a trip back in that direction, it's not like I'm a ghost hunter or anything. It's just that since I was younger, spiritual energy's been fucking with me. So it's kind of like, what do you want? It's not like, oh, you're not supposed to play with it. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I didn't ask for it. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, it's a difference when you go, well, I guess the Ouija board was probably asking for it, but see, that's a whole other story. I didn't ask for it. My sister put me up to that shit. So in a way, I could have been asking for it, but didn't realize I was being guided. So, in order to close that loop, or at least to discover what the fuck you want, yeah, I'd love to go to the Queen Mary and see what she has to say, because, you know, go Navy, ding. All of our ships, any ship, any vessel that's waterborne that goes aboard the ocean is not a male, it's a female. Men, women, and every sailor don't name their ships after manly shit, but lately, go check the news, most of the ships are named after prominent figures, declarations, women, or heroes and shit. So, the Titanic, what was she named after? Titan? Probably like a Greek god, I don't know. But what's that bitch? Queen Mary. That's her sister. A girl. Titan's sister's the Queen Mary. And now that I'm thinking about it, wasn't the Queen's name Mary in England that just passed, rest in peace, what have you, but she left like a note that said don't open till like 2036 to Australia, because the Queensland, the Queen and the King, they own their territory. Their territory's like, I don't know if it's Australia. You go look at, do your own research. That means I need to go do my research. I just know that the Queen owns property, and those properties are fucking countries, not fucking, oh, I have a property on fucking 108th Street. No, I have a country over there and a country over there. But her dying wishes with this letter or this note was to not open this until 100 years from now, nigga. 100 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to probably everyone who didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? And this is what? Friday, June 26, 2026. Ain't that significant? January, February, March, April, May, June. 6. January, February, March, April, May, June. 6. 2. 6. 2. 6. It only resonates with some. That resonates with me. Shout outs to Pasadena, California. Anyway, that was a sidebar real quick, but anyway, what the fuck else is going on?
That's by the hardly. I don't know why he was walking down the stairs towards that voice in the first place. That's the fastest way to go from looking for ghosts on the Queen Mary to being a ghost on the Queen Mary.
My apologies to you guys. I should have actually informed you to wear something that would have covered your face a little bit more, like sunglasses or something.
Why?
Because they have facial recognition in these, and artificial intelligence facial recognition in these cameras, so they can see you. And they'll figure out who you are. I'm Jake Forts, and I'm the resident here in Iowa Street in Lowell, Massachusetts, and you're at my humble abode. So that is the largest part of the Harkley Group data center here in Lowell. In Massachusetts, in theory, you can't have a surveillance camera looking at somebody's backyard. And what the hell is that doing in the middle of a residential neighborhood? Without saying too much, being in camera view. It's been ascertained. Why do you have to say that? These cameras are high tech. They're $1,000 a pop. You have to be guarded on what you say around here, just because there is so much surveillance and what you do. Come back and actually see like the fishbowl of which I live in. For me in this neighborhood, it started 11 years ago. Markley came and they started lying immediately. 10 years ago, they put the 2 diesel engines. So if you're looking over here, you can see 4 diesel engines. The furthest 2 were never supposed to be there. Actually, none of these 4 were supposed to be there. It didn't explode until they got the AI in there. So when Markley came, they told us that it was going to be one thing, that it wouldn't have a big impact on the community, and that it was going to be Netflix. And it has been anything but that. They've repeatedly changed the site to the point where this neighbor, Eileen, who has 2 water tanks in her backyard, they just popped up there during COVID. They started construction, didn't ask, but it's always do and ask for forgiveness later with this company. These 2 engines here were the first 2 to go in. These went in 2016, and that's when we said, what the hell are you doing? That's not where these were supposed to be. Everything that was mechanical was supposed to be on the other side of the facility. And by the way, don't worry about these folks because they sold out in December to them. Markley owns this, they own all of this. We're the last 2 privately owned houses on this street, and 9 Prince Ave is the last privately owned residence on Prince Ave. When he is done acquiring at cheap cutthroat rates, then this will cease to exist. He already has a plan, which he slipped in 2017, to build another building on the other side of the parking lot, where the parking lot is. So where are those people parking? He needs to come this way.
So I can't even build a shed on my property without jumping through hoops with the county, but they're allowed to build a data center smack dab in the middle of the neighborhood. The government really loves us.
Outside of the IRS's headquarters in Carlton, Maryland is something seated very strategic and very intentional. Here outside the IRS headquarters, you can see the pillars of Boaz with a hand placed on each pillar, and also the Eye of Providence, or the pyramid. Now, we see Masonic symbolism everywhere, but I think it's even more alarming that they're in front of the IRS's building, considering they control most of our money. Both of these pillars are made from the finest of marble. They also have 13 stripes up and down each pillar, black and white representing duality or the union of opposites.
So, if we're following the video from where it's at, blase, blase, blase. Now, I'm not too sure where the energy comes from, but it's none of my business in the first fucking place, you feel it? So, like I said before, this was not put on me for no reason, okay? This was not put on me for no fucking reason. Alright? I have to do that shit just because I want y'all motherfuckers to think this is a fucking game, and I really wish the best for every motherfucking body that's in my within my voice range. You know what I'm saying? I wish the best for everybody, but it is what it is.
Of course, we see the checkerboard theme in all of the Masonic lodges, all of the checkerboard floors. If you look at these hands, one hand is pointed upward with the other fingers closed. The other hand has all of the fingers opened, and it is pointing upward as well. I've seen a couple theories on what this means, but we know that these represent the polar opposites. Some say that the pointing hand is the representation of the union with a god. Here's a picture of the Greek god Hermes pointing towards the heavens. Many say this is taken after him. Some say the other hand, featuring all the fingers open, represents the halting of the communion of God, or maybe a relationship with the carnal rather than the spiritual. Numerology and gematria are very common parts of Freemasonry. You can decipher many hidden messages through numbers and letters. So sometimes the Eye of Providence is featured with 13 bricks, and obviously these bricks represents the steps to the Great Architect or Enlightenment. So the 13 steps or the 13 stripes could represent the journey that the Masons take. The 13th letter of the alphabet is M. If you look at the Freemason apron, you can see the M. This envelope, it looks like an M. If you look at ancient Egyptian Kemetic hieroglyphics, the letter M is associated with the owl. Now, I've made a video in the past regarding the Bohemian Grove and that giant owl that they have named Malak But there you can see that they're obsessed with their owls. If you look at their Masonic lodges, at the corners of these buildings, they'll have little owl statues, a type of protection. When owls fly, they fly silently. They're also nocturnal, so they can see in the dark. They're exceptional hunters, and they're known for strategic warfare. That kind of ties in Minerva. Now you also have this pyramid here with the white capstone representing the enlightenment from the great architect. But on this pyramid it says, "We the people." If you look at this pyramid where "We the people" is written, it's written in the dark part of the pyramid. It is not written on the enlightened or the illuminated part. It's because ultimately we the people are the ones that sit in darkness. These are the people who are not illuminated. These are the people who are not elite and part of this secret society.
I'm not surprised the IRS building is set up like the Freemason Lodge. They're probably in there sacrificing our tax money to Moloch, then BlackRock.
For entertainment purposes, if I wanted to convince you that fallen angels are real, and that they've positioned themselves to be in sight, I'd start with Keanu Reeves, and here's why. First, I noticed a lot of songs in the music industry use his name, and there's a common theme surrounding those lyrics. Here's an example.
Illuminati, that boy Six got my back. Six make this beat. Six bring the heat. You got on repeat. Six got my back.
Well, can't wait for this shit to be over. However, the most important part is whether or not YouTube is gonna keep this shit, because the only thing I'm doing is regurgitating what's already been put in front of your eyes. Have mercy on everybody's soul. We'll talk. Let's go.
Six make this beat. Six bring the heat. You got on repeat.
Which, by the way, this is the album cover that song is on. Next, I'd point out the comic book that he did. Not so much the fact that superheroes can be equated to the Nephilim. It was this.
You end up coming up with the storyline and everything. I mean, where do ideas come from? I know, yeah. So that's a very deep question. Where do they? Yeah. It came to me of just like, were you on a character that could punch people through the chest? Yeah. And then, like, what if they were half god, half immortal? He can't die. Then he doesn't know who his father is.
Saying he doesn't know who his father is was the cherry on top. Next, I'd say his response when asked about the old photos that look like him. Also on Jimmy Fallon. Have you ever seen the website KeanuIsImmortal.com? Or heard about this?
I've heard about it recently.
Yeah. This is fans of yours. You have a lot of great fans out there, and what they do is they find old paintings and old pictures from like the 1500s of dudes that look like you. We're all stardust, baby. I know. Not only does that answer denounce God, but stars symbolically represent the divine beings who rebelled against God. I'd also have to point out some of his movie titles or plots, such as The Watcher, The Devil's Advocate, Constantine, Good Fortune, Exposed, a movie containing angels and demons, The Matrix, Replicas, Johnny Mnemonic, The Day the Earth Stood Still, Dracula. There's more, but I also want to point out that Reeve means overseer, and the Anunnaki are often equated to the Nephilim, crowned nicest man in Hollywood. Even Satan masquerades as an angel of light. Worth noting, all this influence comes out of a city called Los Angeles, which means the angels, aka City of Angels, and they call them stars. Again with the stars.
According to the Bible, the fallen angels are still here on Earth, so this isn't the most far-fetched theory. And if it's true, I know living in Hollywood for so long makes him regret ever leaving heaven.
He's the only prisoner in this American jail, and there are no guards. I walked in, and he gave me a tour.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm just being a good boy and chilling.
What crime did you commit?
One misdemeanor.
For what?
Assault.
So this is the jail cell. Can you show me where you sleep?
Oh, right in this little room.
All right. And what's over here?
Another room.
Another bed. So you get to choose what bed you want to sleep in.
Yeah.
Can I see what you eat?
Hamburger, Hungry Man, pizza.
You put it in the microwave?
Yeah. No, wait. I know we're all poor.
How many more days do you have in here?
I'm supposed to sleep today, but with their problems.
And that's what the prison looks like here in Campbell.
The whole point of jail is that it's supposed to be a punishment, but he living better than most law-abiding citizens. This is pretty much a free Airbnb.
We're back with millions of honeybees accidentally set free in Texas. They were being carried in a semi-trailer that tipped over Sunday. Reports say the truck was hauling more than 400 hives to North Dakota. No bee stings nor injuries have been reported. One insect expert says only about a quarter of bees might survive.
All right, we're packing up.
This brings me to a great point. I know it seems annoying and shit, but I wish I had that many bees around my property. I know you can get fucked up, and if you're allergic to bees, you might get stung and catch hives or some shit like that. I don't know what the fuck happens when you get stung by a bee and you're allergic to them. I think your throat might swell up. I don't remember, but yeah, that's why I say never stop learning. However, the plants that are outside, like from plums to pears and apples and shit, those bees pollinate those flowers. We need bees. Don't get rid of bees. We need bees. I don't know what the fuck a wasp is here to do, or a hornet, or a yellow jacket. House flies, or for frogs, they eat them. You have to learn how the ecosystem works, wherever you're at, and then just the ecosystem in general. You shit, what happens? What are you feeding? I don't know, it goes to this. You got to learn the whole process of life and shit. And then you can determine how to insert yourself, whether or not you are someone who is supposed to be helping replenish the planet. Me personally, I do this shit with my eyes closed, man. I'm making music and shit, and I cook, and then there's a garden. So whatever within my soul is to recreate or create, because I done gotten seeds that are like, oh man, you'll never get to grow this, and I'm like, is this like a test or what? So you plant said seed, and then you watch it grow, and it's like, what are you talking about? So I don't know if that's I don't know. I really don't know. But however, I advocate for bees due to the fact that they help. When those flowers are sitting there and the pussy's hot, they shoot out their flowers. And how do they get fucked? Bees come and fuck them. And they're going to spread pollen to the next plant, and now you got fruit. It's kind of nasty and shit, but I mean, if you think about what's going on in the process, but at the end of the day, this is a natural process that needs to happen. And with people fucking with shit, that's what I'm gonna call it, just people fucking with shit, and then we have fucking problems. I don't even want to fuck, I'm raising my blood pressure up. I'm out.
The truck driver had one job. There's not about to be a single drop of pollen left in the whole city after this.
You also saw a Nordic alien?
I did, on Orcas Island. I was visiting a friend there, and I woke up the next morning after we were talking about a bunch of stuff, and he'd gone down to the store, which is quite a ways away from his property, to get some food. And so I'm like, oh, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to take a walk on his property, like 20 acres in the woods. So I start walking, and I come over this ridge and there'd been no one out. And all of a sudden there's this person who literally looks like a male model, like a Scandinavian male model with kind of longish blonde hair in a weird kind of more like European clothes, whatever. And they say, "Hello, Brent." Like they're about 20 feet, a little bit further down the hill. And I'm thinking, how's he know my name? Secondly, I did not see his mouth move. And I was like, "Hello." And he said, "Turn around and walk the other way." But he's not looking threatening. And I kind of was like, "Got it, on it." Turn and I walk away. And now I'm getting a little bit freaked out. I get a ways down and I look back and he's not there anymore. My friend comes back and I say, "Okay, I just had a really weird experience." He goes, "Oh, with one of those tall white people?" I'm like, "What do you know about them?" And he goes, "They have a compound on the Orcas Island and they come in a black helicopter unmarked to a facility that's all gated, and there's about 8 of them. And they come here and they stay here for a couple days at a time, apparently when this energy is really high, and they get recharged."
I'm not saying he's lying about what he saw. It's just a little hard for me to believe that the Nordics just casually have a summer cottage on Orcas Island.
I want to have a serious and an uncomfortable conversation with all of you. Change your behavior now or quit. Leave. Members are using our databases as their own way to meet women. Seeing a woman at a coffee shop, coming out of a gym, driving next to them, getting their license plates and running them on the system. We've seen members messaging vulnerable victims on calls that they've attended in an attempt to develop an intimate relationship. There's a clear need for OPS leadership to acknowledge that this issue remains present and to speak openly about it. Silence or minimization only allows the behavior to continue.
This is why a lot of people don't trust law enforcement. They're supposed to be protecting and serving the community, but they out here swiping left on a police database like it's Tinder. I would tell my real estate agent to put this house back on the market immediately. It looked like Freddy Krueger was about to pop out the shower stall.
So bye. You saw it.
You see it swinging?
Maybe.
Oh,
No. Whoa.
What happened?
that doll.
Me? That fell first.
Well, there's someone in here right now. There's someone right here. There's someone right here in this door right now.
If I ever go ghost hunting and see something like this, I'm gonna be screaming just like she was.
Hey, do not walk on my grass. Make sure. Yep, take the sidewalk. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's very rude to walk on people's grass. Have a blessed day.
And the mailman won that battle. Not only did he walk on her grass, he did the Billie Jean is not my lover on her lawn and then skipped back to his truck. But that was the video, guys. Don't forget to sub up, hit that hype button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Alright. So, I was basically intrigued and seeing what the fuck is going on. I wasn't looking at many of the timestamps, however, it seems to be mostly recent content, and you have to remember artificial intelligence and shit like that, which I'm fully aware of. However, if you was to like walk with me hand in hand, I don't know, artificial intelligence has been around for a long time. It's just that they just revealed it. I mean, there's more questions I have than answers. That's what I got for you. However, whatever y'all saw, I saw, and I'm not gonna say that any of that shit was real or not. What I will say is that never stop learning. I'll have to give you that much. And when I find something else that I want to not talk about, but let the video show you something, I'm gonna make sure I do so. I'm gonna make sure I do so. I think it's better to talk without talking. You know what I'm talking about? It just makes more sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Go Navy all day. I won't hit the bell because the dog, it freaks him the fuck out. So, as far as I'm concerned, till the next time, I'll holler at you motherfuckers in the future. Yeah, I'll holler at you in the future. We'll talk.